4th.
Ta-da!
Good job.
Thank you.
A+.
Thank you very much. Welcome to another crappy episode of Road to Nowhere. I almost forgot the name. That was awesome. Welcome to.
You have been sitting with us for the past couple of.
That is
past
true.
hour or so.
That is true, and I'm having some adult sodas, but this
some
week
jazz sodas.
jazz sodas.
You beat me to it. I was gonna start saying jazz cigarettes, jazz sodas,
Jazz cigarette sodas.
cigarette juice.
Oh yeah.
Oops.
Freebasing cigarettes, baby. We're here with.
Ochos, cigarette juice.
We're here with the Boston death metal band Parasitic Extirpation. To my left, we have Sir Chris Kessaris. To my right, we have Peter Blue Spinazola. Gentlemen.
Hi.
You should be like to my left and to what is it? That's like stage right on the computer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Just
because I was gonna say, it's your left, but it's not their left.
Wait, but it's gonna be your bowl.
all right. It's gotta be my bowl. All right, you can get a good look at a butcher's ass. All right.
Oh, okay. I just lost where we were. All right, yeah. I'm gonna get that.
Unfortunately, you should probably turn it off.
Yeah, turn it off.
How
That's
how it's
not
gonna be
get any better.
the whole time.
It's gonna be. It's just. This is gonna be a shit.
Losing places the whole time.
Exactly. I'm gonna last week was even worse. All right. Anyways, what was the first question I was gonna ask? What was the last thing you guys were listening to?
I've been spinning Internal Bleeding constantly for the past 4 days straight.
Understandable.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about you, Chris?
I have been listening to Crotch Duster and Steel Panther for the past week pretty consistently.
There you go.
So I've been in a fantastic mood.
Oh, I'll even answer this question. I've been listening to Slipknot.
Wow. No shame. Admit it.
Yeah. I don't care.
All right, fair
enough. I don't
enough.
give a fuck. There's no such thing as guilty pleasures with me.
No, I've always believed that too, the whole guilty pleasure thing. Yeah, it's guilty. I know it's like, other people make you feel guilty, but, if you dig it, who gives a shit?
Yeah. I like Winger.
That's not guilty. That's great.
That's not guilty at all.
I feel pretty guilty about it.
Well, all right. Your own guilt is different,
Yeah.
Can't wash off that stain.
The dirt.
Yeah.
The dirt.
Never clean.
Moving along now, how long have you guys been playing your instruments?
18
what started
years
it?
in
Sorry.
2 months.
18 years and 2 months.
Wow. Down to the month? You know the month?
I know this shit. Yeah.
Wow.
June of 1995 is when I first picked up a guitar.
Jesus.
So, 19 years.
I was going to say,
Sorry, I had it wrong.
I think I'm just about 19 or 20. It's got to be right in that area. Because I was probably maybe 13 when I started playing it, 13 or 14. So that's just shy of 20, right? Yeah. 18, 19.
Yeah, about there.
Yeah. That I don't like thinking about that because it makes me realize how not good I am for how long I've been playing.
What are you talking about? We're great for a couple of mid-20s dudes,
Yeah. For people who are, in our early 20s, young men, virile young men.
I can't wait for February when I turn 25 for the second time.
Oh, God, this is awful. You guys are laughing way too much for how not funny the stuff you're talking about is.
And the episode just nosedived.
Exactly.
What got you guys into playing guitar?
I think it's a combination of Kiss and probably Metallica. It's exactly, I think, the two things that I maybe want to play guitar.
Leonard Skinner.
Really?
Yeah.
The old skin dog.
Forrest Gump, when Jenny was on the balcony and that guitar solo rips, I'm just like, holy crap, that's awesome. Yeah, that's why I want to play guitar.
I never knew this. That's amazing.
I didn't know that either.
Jesus.
Well, that's why I always play it,
Fair enough. Well, it's a bird you can't change, bro.
Exactly. Were you that person that was just so into that song, whenever you saw somebody live, you call it for Freebird?
I do that anyway. Or Stonehenge. I usually call it for Stonehenge instead.
Whenever anybody, is, coffee coffee runs, somebody go to get coffee, like any request, my first response is always Freebird. I Freebird a lot of questions.
That's pretty reasonable. I would Freebird the life out of everything. I should do that.
Freebird the life out of me.
Freebird the life out of me.
Fucking next album.
Oh man, should be a double disc. Free Bird.
Oh, God.
Kind of like Nelly when he did Sweatsuit.
Oh my god.
That
I don't even know what that is. I'm not even familiar with it. He had a double album called Sweatsuit.
Yeah, the first album was called Sweat, where it was like Nelly being hard. And then the second one was him being soft.
Oh, okay.
Is Soft Nelly the one that wears the Band-Aid?
I think he was a Band-Aid on both of them, actually.
Wow, that's...
But, like, you know,
not
one's about girls
so
and one's about everything else.
Yes, okay.
Pretty much.
Alright.
I want to come out with my own double disc with me doing whatever. And the first disc would be called Sporting, and the second disc would be called Goods.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, man.
And does it come with the enhanced CD?
Oh, of course.
Put it
does.
into your CD-ROM drive for
the digipack
for the extras.
Exactly.
You know,
it'll come with like the Japanese outtakes too.
Oh yeah, that's what I want.
Exactly. coming out on Roadrunner Records.
I want it to look just like the Iron Man or Ed Hunter CD-ROM game. If you ever saw that, it was like it had. I think it was like 898 or 99. It was like right when Bruce came back. They put a CD-ROM game. Awful. So good. Enhanced CDs though. Remember those?
Enhanced.
You know?
I remember those too.
Awesome.
I think I still have several lying around my house actually. Oh, man. Where were we? Once again. Oh yeah. Can you tell us about your collective band histories?
What are each of our own or our collective in together in Parasitic?
Each of your own.
I should
have worded that a little differently.
I was gonna say that's an independent library. Each of us.
Yeah.
You go first.
Oh, me first. Thank you. So in Julius Caesar, the person who goes last wins the argument. You realize this, right?
This isn't an argument.
It isn't.
This is
sure. I was joking.
Listen.
Anyway, okay.
So
breaking the fourth wall.
I'm also loving how basically this is all going to consist of us looking at each other and none of us ever looking at the screen.
That's why I just broke the fourth wall.
Exactly. Yeah, that's good. We're breaking the ice.
Broke it down.
We're going to start moving closer.
So,
yeah, right?
Band histories, yeah.
Not history, histories.
So I guess I'll begin. Oh man. I'm just joking. I feel all depressed, but I'm not. So basically my first band was Discourse in high school, and we just basically did Metallica covers, and it was me and Andy Karachik, who followed me on to Three-Headed Monster with Paul Muse and Chris Cicchini, which was kind of my fun time wrestling band and monster movie band that I still do to this day. And then that led me on to Death Without Weeping, which was a fun college band to be in.
That was.
Bunch of cool dudes in that band. And then after that, after Porphyria broke apart, I was talking to Blue and I was like, we should form a band. We really should. And so we formed Parasitic Extirpation. That's where we are today.
Yeah, that was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was still black.
Yeah, there was no gray.
Yeah. See what this has done to me. I feel like George Bush, after 8 years of being in office, how when he first was inaugurated, he was like kind of a young spry dude. At the end, he just looked old and shriveled, and he was just like, "Oh, this sucks. I want to get out of here."
Now that he's out, he doesn't look so decrepit.
Right. He hasn't aged a day in like 6 years since he got out.
He's doing ice bucket challenges now.
Yeah,
like he's 22.
He's making paintings of dogs and stuff. And who else liked to paint dogs was Hitler.
Oh yeah.
So
sensitive man.
Yeah.
I've heard. I didn't know him personally.
I listened to that the other day too.
It's a classic,
And now you may go.
Yeah. Well, I pretty much, in the old high school and stuff, I pretty much didn't have anybody to jam with, so I didn't really have bands early on because nobody listened to heavy music in my school because it was all shitty hippie rock bullshit.
You grew up in fucking Andover.
Exactly. It's awful. It's like
Scott's got
Dave
Abercrombie
Matthews and
sucks,
Fish.
dude.
Yeah, it was just like
Yeah.
stupid stuff like that. I played bass with on heavy rock, like a heavy rock bench because I wanted to play something. But then in college, I started my first actual was an extreme metal band called Raising Kubrick, which is a very dated sounding early 2000s mix of death metal and metalcore, basically.
I do remember you
And
guys.
we did that for a few years, up to like 07, 05, that's it. It was like 01 to 05.
9 years ago.
I know, right? 01 to 05, I did that band, and then after that, I moved on to a New Hampshire-based death metal band called Porphyria, which I played in from 05 to the end of 07. Around that time, too, I was also playing in a grind band called Unholy Trinity, which had future members of Living Void and other rock projects, And then after Porphyria broke apart, as Chris said, me and the singer of Porphyria started another death metal band literally the next month after Porphyria broke up with Chris and another drummer, Alex, and my old bass player in Dysentery, Drew, Parasitic Extirpation, in fall of 07. And at that same time, I joined into Dysentery, which I've been in ever since. And
that was a life sentence, isn't it?
that was a life sentence in itself. And then a year later after that, in fall of 08, I joined into Sexcrement on bass in the fall of 08. And yeah, that's up to, that's it.
That's where we are today.
Yeah, that's where we are today.
That's the road to
Here.
That's how we got here.
Now.
That's how this happened.
Yeah,
That's how we ended up at the Kessaris Arena.
I love how my great-grandmother's painting is in the backdrop of this video.
Did she paint that?
She painted that.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
That's pretty good.
That was my yaya.
Ah, the yaya.
Greek.
I was going to say, everybody's got to have their, it was always Nana for me.
It was always Meme for me.
See, there you go.
And then,
That's damn good.
Right. And I'm
Damn good.
I'm glad that the
Can you appreciate it
internet
in this?
world is going to see
just
this.
Yeah,
look
that's
at that. Seriously.
really freaking good.
Like, that should be on a shirt.
Did she do that professionally?
Oh, she was just, I have no idea. She was
Okay.
just a painter and
Okay.
did that. And
That's really that's pretty damn good.
I was probably a couple months old when she passed. So
Oh, all right.
Ah.
I see. I see.
never knew her.
Oh, well.
Never knew.
It's a nice conversational
Never
piece
knew
to
her.
have.
It is. You know that?
Kind of bring the mood down a little
Yeah,
bit.
you know.
Talk about some people who have passed
Roller
away.
coasters, ups and downs.
Yeah.
This is how you really make a compelling. What do you? Is this a webcast? What do you call this? Is this
Just
a
a
webisode?
just a terrible interview.
Okay. Terrible interview. That's the technical term.
Exactly. That's the layman's
Because if it's just audio, it's a podcast, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So I didn't know if this
I'm
was
not used to people seeing
a
me.
video
And
cast.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry you have to look at
Yeah.
me.
It's.
Like, damn, I am good.
Is it backwards on the video or is it?
No, it's normal.
Okay. I didn't know if it gets reversed.
So like the Phobia logo is actually going to look normal and whatnot.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You can still not read what our shirts say for the most part from this far, so it's good.
Well, you can't with a lot of the music that we listen to, anyways.
Well, I'll just say it. Moral Decay.
Because for the most part, like
So.
every death metal and almost every death metal and black metal label just looks like somebody just threw a bunch of twigs together.
Ole Anderson.
That's true.
Land.
Great band. Great band.
Great band.
Great band. Kidding. The first few albums he did with Four Horsemen. Excellent. Excellent.
Oh yeah, that was the pinnacle of his career.
Him and Gene Anderson, though, had some great albums back
Yeah,
in
they locked
the
in.
late 70s, early 80s. As the Anderson brothers, you know.
Yeah, there's some mustaches.
Yeah.
It was a time and a place, you know.
It was. That's for sure. Okay, moving along somewhat. As
Very little.
Parasitic Extirpation, can you talk about your discography?
Discography, well, lucky for that, it's short and sweet because due to even though we've been together for 7 years, we have had quite the ups and downs as far as lineups are concerned and, what have you, and road bumps. But we have 3 releases, technically. We put out our first demo EP in 2008, Knee Deep in Disease. Right? Right?
I was like,
correct.
my huge birthday.
Oh, right?
That's what
I was like, I don't remember anything after that.
I'm looking at the corner of my eye, I was like, why is Kessaris laughing?
But yeah, that was the first thing we did. We basically recorded that the first after 3 months as a band, and it got released that following spring or summer.
It was basically our first year being as a band.
Yeah,
it
was a demo, which is way more guttural and slammy sounding than because at the time when we had gone from Porphyria to Parasitic, we were just all right, we gotta make stupid toilet bowl music. So we did that for a couple songs, and
then we realized we should probably do something
let's start writing songs that we like playing and aren't boring as shit. Those songs are fun, but
that's where Casketless
we got more tactical, and then we wrote our full length Casketless, which was originally released in 2010.
Basically because our singer Tim moved to China for a year.
Yeah, that's right. We had a delay in that because our singer temporarily went to Hong Kong for a year and a half. We wrote the album when he was gone, recorded it. He tracked vocals when he came back. We toured the U.S. in 2010 for the release of it, and then after that, Tim left the band, and then we kind of had a solid year and a half of inactivity.
Yeah, we were just kind of
putzing around, waiting for a new singer.
Trying to see what was out there.
It was kind of
our bass player Drew was moving away, so we basically needed to find a new drummer. We need to find a new bass player. We need to find a new singer.
Yeah, it was a big transition period for the band,
and that kind of sucked. It's not fun to be in those transitional periods.
No, I imagine.
But now we're kind of out of that, and we have a lineup that we feel is pretty solid. And so we've released Putrid Crown, or we're about to release Putrid Crown, which is our first release with Jimbo Fitzpatrick, Dan Kessaris, and Malika Sidurum, I think I got them all.
That was good.
Yeah, nailed it.
That's
kill it.
Not an easy band.
I know, Travis. Number one,
Spinazola, Chris Kessaris.
I was gonna say.
Sorry, guys.
It's alone from the band name itself, the individual members' names are awful to pronounce as well. So sorry. That's how I do.
I'm so used to people with Portuguese last names like Soares and Medeiros and stuff like that, but you guys are a very ethnic sounding band.
Yeah, we try to, we really try to equal opportunity employers. I think we're just trying to make sure, nobody looks at us weird. We kind of started to try to stay away from that white power angle after the first couple of years.
Yeah.
So
you never really can wash your hands.
You can't get away from that. That stays with you. But we have 2 EPs and a full length. That's us.
The longest explanation for 3 pieces of music. Oh, that was great. Yeah, you mentioned
this is not going to be a linear path that we walk on. It's a cow path. It's going to be many turns.
Yeah, we go against the grain.
There's some cow pies in the way.
Cow pies.
So, brace
checking
yourself.
But
checking them for fun, guys.
They're delicious.
But
you ever get the ones with the cream filling? Oh man,
great source of fuel. Dry those babies up.
There you go.
They're no dad beers, but
5 Pilsner beer.
By the way, Miller Lite, dad beer.
Exactly.
There's your new slogan.
1985, right here.
I was gonna say, has that can changed in the past 25 years, 30 years?
Yeah. This is the throwback can. They
is it
for a limited time only for the past year and a half or so?
It's pretty limited.
I was gonna say that looks like that's why it's dad beer because it looks like the old label.
They should never go back to the other Miller Lite.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Just do this forever.
This just makes me when I see this particular logo, I just think of a whole bunch of dads at their kids.
Lots of mustaches is what I think.
At the kids' softball games.
Do you guys remember Miller Genuine Draft?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
Does that not exist anymore?
The old I'm just saying.
Or is it just
the old cans?
Yeah,
it's I want those cans. I don't want new cans.
That's what I say a lot. I say I want those cans all the time.
I want the cans that my parents told me that I couldn't have when I was a kid, but now that I'm a 30-year-old man, I can have anytime I want.
Yeah, exactly. I remember my uncle being like, "Here, Dave."
30, I meant 25.
Oh yeah.
Good call. Good
Let's
call.
do the time warp again.
Yep. We're constantly
We're
on a
joke
time
of the
warp.
day.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, you mentioned Putrid Crown. Can you elaborate about this?
Well,
We could.
we could.
And we
What?
will, but not because you asked.
Putrid Crown is, well, like we said, the first release we've put out in 4 long years since our debut full-length Kessaris. It's a result of, a lot of painstaking lineup change and, a lot of working shit out. But, it's a bunch of new songs. We re-recorded and more or less kind of reworked an old song from the Casketless full-length. We did a Carcass cover of Buried Dreams from their seminal Girlfriend metal album Heartwork. And with the signature Chris Kessaris instrumental track as well. With
It's just gonna bum you out.
it's super depressing with some stupid shred on it. Some like painful runs.
If you like G minor, then you're gonna like this song.
But we tracked it with our buddy Eric Braunschweiger in Alston. Killer dude who's worked with
awesome.
tons of people. And we had the man Pete Rucho of Damage Studios do mixing and mastering on it. He's done stuff for Revocation, Havoc, Bury Your Dead, even though, who cares, but they have great production. So
I cared in the early 2000s.
It's a notable name, but
That's true.
it sounds really good.
Was that the band who did all the Tom Cruise songs?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Mo.
And then the and then the next record they did like all fairy tales.
Yeah,
and stuff like
that band is funny. But yeah, it sounds really good. It's being released on Severed Records on October 7th. As we speak right now, on September 1st, pre-orders will be up within the next couple days for the new album. New EP, gotta be technical about it. And
Sure.
we should have a new song, keep our fingers crossed, online within the next weekish.
Keep my fingers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, with that said, too, and for the entire month of September, we're going to be playing a bunch of cool shows to support it, too.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of shows with Artificial Brain, Geigen, and Piron. That tour we're doing like 3 shows with. We're playing with our buddies from Pennsylvania, Rivers of Nile, who are one of my favorite new, like, modern extreme metal bands.
Yeah, I do.
Use that term, like, because I don't like any of those bands who play modern extreme metal, but they actually do it with, like, cool styles and stuff. Great guys. What else do we got? We also have, we're playing the Building Temples from Deathfest in Houston, Texas, in the last weekend of September, with Internal Bleeding, Malignancy, Guttural Secrete. Dehumanize isn't doing that one.
Oh, they're not.
No, they're not. You would think, though, because we play every show with them. Because our boys. But yeah, Moral Decay's playing. Abnormality, our buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Our alternate,
I guess there are
they-
in-laws.
I was going to say, do you consider
They're
that?
band in-laws?
Yeah, they're band in-laws, because, Malik is in both. But yeah, that's going to be an awesome fest in Houston. I don't know, I think I might be missing, like, one other show we might be doing, because we have enough of them in September. But
The
yeah.
New York show? Or the New Jersey show?
Yes, we're playing in New Jersey with Guttural Secrete for their first
Yes.
East Coast shows ever, too, in
That's
September.
pretty awesome. I'm
With
glad.
Malignancy and Dehumanized on
See,
that
that's,
show.
Yeah, that's
it.
where I got
Because it's the same
confused.
freaking line. We're playing the same
Right.
lineup on 2 different parts of the U.S.
Yeah. I'm glad Guttural Secrete is doing shit.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah,
Awesome.
we're basically Future Crowd, October 7th. Lots of shows in October.
Now this comes with the digipack, right?
The digipack, when you say, you mean like the fucking cardboard fucking...
Yeah.
It's actually, I believe it's going to be a jewel case release.
Yeah,
Oh.
Fuck your digipack garbage.
There
This
you
shit is gonna
Stepping
last
it up,
forever.
stepping up.
So long as like little plastic corners.
I hear way too many people telling me how they don't like digipack cases. People generally don't like them, I don't think. Like, the people who still actually buy CDs at least.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's legit jewel case. But I think somewhere down the line we will have a digital download version of it available. And hopefully within the next year, a vinyl version.
I was just going to ask that actually.
Hopefully,
that would be cool.
I think that would be that would probably be like a 10-inch or something like that, because that can't fit on a 7-inch. But there will be a vinyl release, hopefully. I think that's everything pertaining to Future Crown, right?
For now.
For now.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more.
This is until they film Parasitic Extirpation, the movie.
This is until it sleeps.
Until it
Oh
sleeps.
my god, who would play me? Shoot a Freelander.
There you go.
You gotta gain 50 pounds, dude, but it'll be worth
I
it.
feel like Jack Black should play Jimbo.
That would be hilarious.
Yes, it would.
He could really capture the Jimbo-ness right.
Or Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen would be even better.
Oh my god.
I think Seth Rogen would be good for you. I think he would. Seth Rogen could play you well.
You think with Seth Rogen?
I don't know. I don't think you're Seth Rogen, but having Seth Rogen play you, I think that could be well done.
I think like if James Franco packed on some weight.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
That'd
All
be
right.
a pretty good cast for me. It's super awkward and pale.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a bigger, long-haired, balding Hugh Jackman for me.
Oh, Wolverine.
Yeah.
You think you're a Wolverine?
No, the beardy thing. I think he's got the. I like what he has with facial hair
Beard
prowess.
Jeez.
Well,
it's like we swap places.
I'll say like 9-month beard me or something like that.
This is 3-month beard me.
I gotta get back into it.
This is, for me, this is 4 months.
I was gonna say that's a few in
Yeah,
because you can
4,
start
maybe
seeing
5.
the waves in it. That's
Yeah.
when you know it's starting to really
And I
go.
have like the.
You don't get the waves. You just get the fucking
No,
bush.
mine just grows
Yeah.
straight out. My hair gets curly at the end, but maybe my beard will start getting curly at the end. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, my hair doesn't get curly when it does grow out.
This is probably the worst part of this so far.
No, it's fine.
No,
They don't care. They're not even watching.
I know they
Exactly.
stopped watching like easily 15, 20 minutes ago.
Exactly.
Maybe
Just
longer.
like, they're like, oh, fuck this. I'm going to go watch them. Whatever.
Fun fact, by the way, in front of us is Heatwave 1998, and it's Hayabusa versus Rob Van Dam in the ring right now. It's pretty awesome.
Been watching nothing but more or less ECW this whole time. So
Yeah, it's pretty much fuel for the interview. It's the only reason why I decided to do this.
that's why. Well, if you're coming here, you're like, all right.
This is how the Kessaris Arena works.
Exactly.
I mean, there's always going to be wrestling on mute on this TV. Always.
I mean, last week Aubrey's like, we're not gonna watch anything. I'm like, what? Like, we're gonna go outside. I'm like,
Gonna go outside. We're
Go outside.
Would you sit out in like
Outside's for
lawn chairs and
winners.
stuff?
we did actually, we did.
That's great, actually.
Brian gave me this like camper's chair, and they sat on Adirondack chairs. It was really scenic. That's for sure. And it didn't rain, so it ruled.
That's awesome.
I like it when it doesn't rain. It's good.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What would you say your influences would be as musicians or human beings in general?
In individual, like personal influences.
Yeah, individual. We'll go with that.
You go first.
Our-
Because I took the other one first.
Fair enough. Ugh. As far as like my influences I put into Parasitic or just in general?
In general.
In general.
In general.
Exactly.
It's probably going to be all old school heavy metal guitar playing. I'm going to say, KK Downing, Glenn Tipton, Adrian Smith, Dave Murray, not Janet Gers. Fucking Denner, fucking From Merciful Fate, fucking Andy LaRock, King Diamond, fucking just badass, classic heavy metal guitar players. And maybe, like, if I'm going to look at, like, modern players, just, like, probably, like, Jack Owen, Pat O'Brien, fucking, Rob Barrett, all your classic brutal death metal dudes, like, and
Dave Matthews.
I don't know, fucking, like, and, like, modern dudes that I love, like, Ronnie from Malignancy. I love the way he does weird, brutal spaz guitar playing.
It's fun. It's fun.
Hartman and fucking Joe from Moral Decay, I love their shit. I think they have some of the coolest, like, modern, like underground metal guitar styles out there. Fucking Loomis, fucking bass players. I can't not talk about bass players. Fucking Alex Webster, Steve Harris, fucking my main guys. Fucking, yeah.
bad too.
Yeah, not bad.
Like my bass play, as far as my bass playing influence, it varied just pretty much Steve Harris and Alex Webster. Yeah.
My turn.
Yeah. I guess that's
All right.
my end. Yeah, go
Okay.
for it. I should have actually told you. It's okay.
I'm more of like the guitar soloist kind of guy.
Yeah.
So my influences are way more on the shreddy side of things. Not to say that I don't appreciate rhythm playing, because I think John Schaefer is one of my favorite.
Yeah, if you didn't know, Chris is the lead player in this
Right.
band. I'm the rhythm guy, and our influences directly show that as well.
Right, and that's cool. That's how we got to where we are today. Like, I obviously am a huge Jeff Loomis fan. I think I maybe even turned Jeff Loomis on to you back when we first met.
Yeah, I didn't. I had like Dead Hard. I had like the first couple Nevermore albums,
Right.
but I hadn't explored Jeff Loomis as a guitar player until you were like, "No, Nevermore is great, but you need to pay attention."
Early 2000s, I had a mild obsession with Nevermore.
Because I first met you when Enemies came out, right?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, right after, either before or after that.
Yeah.
Either way, that was when we sort of became friends.
Yeah.
That's a great album.
We definitely met on our mutual love of Iced Earth too, and just heavy metal in general.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, even like Dimebag, Marty Friedman.
What am I talking about? Why did I not say Dimebag?
I was waiting for that.
What a fucking retard!
I'm
too high for this.
I feel like I'm a cop out for mentioning Dimebag.
Yeah, but
as a guitar player, if you're not influenced by Dimebag, I kind of feel like you're not
I say
influenced
fuck
by
people
anything.
who don't mention Dimebag nowadays.
Right.
Fuck me for not saying it, because
he was a great
it's cool to shit on Dimebag like Dimebag wasn't the fucking man when it came to fucking razor tight guitar playing.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, true story, my original guitar teacher, Mike Turner, who passed away, the first time I brought him a Pantera song, I was like, I want to learn how to play this when I was like, 13, 14 years old. He was like, finally, you brought me a real guitar player.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so that was sort of my first...
Finally, were you just like, did you like bring him like random, like, just songs out before that?
I think it was right when Pantera Live first came out, and I was still a noob at that point.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Is when I really got into Pantera.
I think that was the first record that I get too.
Yeah.
Well, no, not the first that I heard, but the first that I owned.
Right. And I mean, it's not because, I'm not like familiar with Pantera's full catalog at this point, even their power metal stuff, which I think is awesome.
Exactly.
It's just that, that was how old I was at the time, I was young at the time when Pantera was getting big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But anyway.
Listen, since we're 25, we were like, 7 or 8,
But I had a mild obsession with probably Dimebag, Nevermore, and a guitar player by the name of Chris Broderick, who is now in Megadeth, but was in a band called Jag Panzer, which is a huge influence on me. They were like a combination of, power metal and like modern technical stuff, and I got off on that, sort of guitar playing. And then from there, it's just all death metal stuff like Terrence Hobbs,
Yeah.
I love Suffocation.
Another
another obvious
I
mention.
really should drop, Terrence. Like that old shit though, you gotta give credit to Doug Cerrito too. All that evil shit on that old stuff, that's all him.
But that's sort of what I like, is like the really technical, shreddy stuff. There are a ton of people I'm obviously not mentioning, but that's sort of the long and short of it, I think.
Fair enough. Long and short. I like that.
Actually, Red Beach is a huge influence
Red
on me.
Beach.
Sorry, yeah.
I
love
Beach.
Red Beach. He's probably one of my favorite guitar players of all time. Him and he was in Winger and Whitesnake, and by God, he can play guitar.
I'm mildly tempted to go into the story when we saw Whitesnake and Priests.
What a great show!
I say go for it.
Okay.
I want to hear this.
Me and Chris were seeing Whitesnake and Priest, and who else played that?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay, it was Whitesnake and Priest, and I alone solo was tripping really hard on mushrooms.
And I was really drunk. I probably
had
6 beers on the drive to Mansfield, which is about an hour away.
Yeah.
So you pace that. And then when we got there, I still kept drinking, so I was pretty in the
So
in the
it was,
shit
so we were there. Whitesnake absolutely destroyed. I was full on tripping on mushrooms during Whitesnake.
Red Beach at one point was playing guitar, and he cut a solo, and it was awesome. And then he took the guitar off, threw it off stage, and then someone from off stage threw him another guitar on stage, caught it, put it on, kept playing like nothing happened.
Tripping on
it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Tripping on mushrooms, witnessing this, I didn't realize it actually happened until several minutes in. I was like, yeah, he's definitely not playing the same guitar, and they're still in the same song, so... But yeah, long story short, at the end of the Whitesnake set, during the quiet interlude, I was still tripping way too hard. In dead quiet, in a sea of people, I freaked out. Pretty much the one of the two only freakouts I've ever had drug-related in my entire life. Salvia being the other one, which
both.
Chris has been present for both of my extreme drug freakouts in my life. And for someone who is so drug enthusiastic, I guess, not really in general, just to weed, but mushrooms, I guess, it's funny to have freakouts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I freaked out in the intermission between the two bands, and I had to run out of the whole canopy seating area.
Yeah.
While the whole time was Priest was setting up, freaking out in the concessions area.
Right. So you missed pretty much the end of Whitesnake up until ramming speed when Priest stared. Because
Rapid fire. When
Excuse me. You running back to
you and Josh Staples, notably from Abnormality, were out there trying to get me back in, just trying to fucking cool me out. Because I was flipping the fuck out. I was like, I have to go. I have to go. And granted, this is the British Steel Tour when they're playing British Steel in its goddamn entirety.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, him and Staples are fucking trying to console me and basically bring me back to reality. And then all of a sudden, I just hear the pounding the world. Of course, classic Halford lyrics. Fucking something about
they
pounding.
Jumped the stage. They had like a big veil covering them, and you heard the. And as soon as the song hit, it just fell down.
When they started that intro, I basically filled with Hulkamania-like power.
That's the only way to.
That was really the best way to describe it. Is kind of like the Hulkamania rising, because I went from straight up mushroom freakout to all around. Oh, it's Priest.
And we headbanged and sang along to the rest of that show. And there's an epic picture that my friend Tim posted of you and I, and my hand is raised up in the air, and both of our hair is just flailing, and we're just having the best time ever. One of the best days of my life was just seeing that.
Best part to note of too is one of the security guards actually had to tell us to stop being so rapid.
Yeah, we weren't just headbanging, so we weren't bothering anybody. We were just pounding forward,
screaming headbanging,
going like that for like an hour straight. And a security guard came up and just said, "Hey guys, cool out."
Nope.
And we're just like, what?
Were people clearing away?
No, it's all seats and stuff.
Probably from a security guard who, probably isn't used to the heavy metal crowd so much. Probably was like, these guys are freaking out.
Right. But we were just having a great time and just enjoying it,
So that's that story.
Yeah.
Goddamn buzzkills, man.
Pizza crowd.
Where's your pizza crowd?
Oh my god. It's totally a sequel to King Nothing, by the way, in case you haven't guessed.
That's what I think.
Not really, but really.
Not really, but really. It's a joke.
Tim Brault and Rob Wharton are psyched.
I can see that completely.
Speaking of Rob Wharton, I don't know why I'm even mentioning this, but I just think of him battling with a keyboard.
True story. One night we played a show.
Misspelling it horribly with a keyboard.
And sometimes the words are spaced out incorrectly. It's
right.
Anyway.
But we spent the night down in New Jersey with him, and he was really drunk, and the entire night we were trying to fall asleep, and he was just singing Load songs, and I just kept on feeding him different material, like Hero of the Day, and
was Aaron getting in on that too? I think so. I don't want to say
Aaron was preoccupied with the dog, I think.
That's true.
Yeah, and I was sleeping. I was sleeping on a chair sideways, so my feet were sticking out the side of the chair.
Oh yeah, the old love seats.
And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of still comfortable, so this works for me.
I'd rather take a love seat than a short couch. Like if this was like a 2-seater, I would rather take the big love seat, put my back on the love seat, arm as the rest, and then just legs over. You know?
Yeah.
The finer points of sleeping in people's houses.
Yeah.
Exactly.
More people should have guest rooms. Why don't you
Yeah,
have guest
you're right,
bedrooms?
you know?
I have one. Why don't you?
Step it
Exactly.
up.
Step your game up. Exactly. Where the hell was I? Fuck, I forgot. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Now I know. See how quickly I catch myself?
It's not.
That's right. There's a script right here.
I was gonna say. I was like, luckily you're actually reminding yourself because we're trying everything we can to basically throw you off track.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
bravo.
I'm unkillable.
I just
Oh,
told
it is.
Rob
Unkillable.
Yeah. That just.
You're unscarred.
Hi, Rob. I'm breaking the fourth wall again.
All right. Next, I'm gonna ask about your equipment. What do you got?
This is probably our favorite question of the night.
This is a new question.
Do you want to start or you want me to start?
I'll start.
Are we talking parasitic rigs?
Parasitic rigs.
All right, go for it.
Well, it's a little hawk for you. I have me and Blue Blue and I both play on Blackheart guitars now. We're both getting the new BTK 7-string with the Floyd Rose. I have a set of Seymour Duncan Black Winter pickups in mine.
I have bare knuckle juggernauts.
Jugs, yep.
Jugs. I am calling them jugs from now on.
So that's sweet. I also have a Blackheart Guitars custom Vice 7-string that's outfitted with some. What can I think of the name?
Bare knuckle nail bombs.
The nail bombs. Yes, I have ceramic nail bombs in my custom Vice guitar, which is very sweet. I love it. And then for amps, I have a Vader 412 cab, and I have an Engel Powerball first edition, which is awesome. And then for pedals, I use a Boss chromatic tuner and NS2, along with a golden cello for a little bit of gain and delay for leads. And that is my rig.
And like Chris said, we are very proudly endorsed by Blackheart Guitars. Great, small independent company focused at like metal players.
On death metal in particular.
Yeah, like,
that's what I like about that.
Yeah, great. Like
In Owen Hart, right?
yeah, exactly. But yeah, great extreme
The
metal.
Soul Survivor.
Great extreme metal guitars. Definitely priced in the range of like any high end LTDs or Schecters, but
Right.
definitely kill them.
Yeah.
Like great stuff because it's kind of a direct to dealer thing, so you save a lot of money on them.
Yeah.
We definitely dig the shit out of our Blackhearts, but like you said, I rock a BTK 7 with bare knuckle juggernauts. For the Parasitic rig, I run a 1994 2-channel Mesa dual rectifier head, and I put that through a Mesa oversized rectifier 4x12 cab. And that's loaded with the old vintage 30s.
Vintage 40s.
The old, oh yeah, it's got to. That's a good John Petrucci YouTube joke. If
Yeah.
you guys are familiar with the famed
Again,
shreds, is that the
from
Psycho
9 years
exercises?
Yeah, from 9 years ago. How
Is that how
old
old that is?
We're so old, man. I'm so great.
Oh, Christ. I know I've talked about this too, but hopefully in the future I'd like to downgrade my 4x12 cab and get maybe like a custom Crimson 212 oversized cab. Just stop breaking my old man back. But right now I'm rocking a Mesa 412 with my dual
We
rectifier.
need some roadies. So if anyone wants to be our roadies, for
Free? You guys free roadie?
Free
Yeah.
roadie.
But and also I'll rock various noise gates, but they're Hush variants,
Yeah,
a Super C or an old school early Hush pedal, and I run all sorts of overdrives as boosts depending on what day I feel. Full tone OCD and a custom modded tube screamer are two of my favorite boosts to run. But
And you always sound great.
we both sound great.
You both sound mint.
Yeah, we take pride in not sounding like shit.
Yeah.
So we like the ways we
Mids to zero.
Yeah.
That's the two things.
We are vehement supporters of the advocacy for mid-range dominance
Right.
in guitar playing. Mid-range is the only way to go for guitars, so fuck off with your scooped mid bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the two things that I know. There's two things that I notice when I see Parasitic play. Number one,
You can hear us.
you can hear you guys, the mid-range dominance, and number two, Jimbo can't keep his neck straight. Jimbo needs.
Jimbo
like,
has great drummer face.
Yeah,
He does.
I think it's because Jimbo is ready to explode when he's playing, so it's kind of like he loses control of the non-usable extremities. So everything else is flying, and he's just like
yeah, his neck just kind of
loses
Yeah.
it.
But he
But
always has this very, it's almost like a coy smile. on
yeah,
his face.
I consider it a shit-eating grin.
I would say
But-
so too.
But yeah, he's always got the constant smile, and I think it's just a result of him concentrating. He doesn't even know what's going on. Because if I had to play that stuff that fast, I would probably shit myself from losing control.
Yeah,
So,
it would,
For
would
drumming,
say
I
so,
got
too.
as good as Lars Ulrich.
That's all you
and
need.
then
That's all
I
you need.
stopped trying. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I can play anything Metallica can play.
So basically, you can't play it right. You can't play their songs right.
I'm just.
That's
know,
true.
I'm a terrible drummer, and I love.
Kicks like a
being
quarter of the time,
Right.
maybe?
Yeah,
Something like that.
it's funny. I've seen various videos of various drummers filling in, like Joey Jordison, speaking of Slipknot, and
For Metallica?
from Metallica, yeah,
I did not know this.
yeah,
How many years ago? Yeah.
yeah. He was out for whatever reason because he's
You
probably
need to buy more art.
yeah, he had to buy more art and sue
Of course.
Napster even more or whatever. But
Hey, like I was just talking about this last night. It's so funny about the whole Napster thing, but Lars called it.
yeah,
He just had to be that. He's now known as the guy who called it.
exactly. He was the whistleblower.
He saw it destroying music, and here we are,
Right.
like 15 years
And
later,
it totally
and
did.
legitimately destroyed music. So Lars, unfortunately, you suck, but you're right.
He was totally right about that. We love you, Lars.
Exactly.
We love
We
you.
just don't love you
Just
playing.
make better music.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Just play a third drum beat.
Give me that Black Album production again. I know you got it.
Dudley Boy shirt.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, I just had to say that.
Oh,
Hardcore
yeah.
TV.
Jerry.
We're still watching ECW, by the way. That's the fuel, like I told you.
Yep.
All right, next question. Your best show you experience and your worst show experience. This is a neck breaker ripoff.
Best and worst show.
There's a couple. Neck
What's
breakers.
What's the best show?
Neckbreaker Podcast on the Shining Wizards Network. I'm on it.
That's a good plug, yeah. Neckbreaker Podcast.
So now you've seen the entire cast of characters.
Right.
What's the best show?
I think our best show
Was,
the Nile show. It could have
True,
you know,
true.
We played some really great shows. We played West Texas.
I was
Death
gonna
Fest.
say West Texas it's definitely been
It was
up there.
That was a great show. We played Las Vegas Death Fest, which were great shows.
Both of those 2010 and 12 were awesome. Yeah,
We
that's
played
true.
New England Death Fest, which were great
Those
shows.
were always good. But
I think our best show
Yeah.
is when we played the Nile
Nile at the
20th
Palladium.
anniversary show, when they played the double set. Oh man, the crowd was into us. It was so fun. It was nice to play the
this
Palladium
this
upstairs
past
too,
New York
so-
Death Fest though was a great one too.
Yes.
Got to note that one
Yes,
too.
that's
That was
St.
packed,
Dennis.
and we were all very satisfied with that set.
Oh yeah, totally.
But that was But yeah, those are probably 5 great shows.
Yeah, we've had our fair share of luck with the great
Yeah,
shows.
we don't- We're lucky. We consider ourselves lucky.
Right.
There you go.
I think maybe it has something to do with the fact that we formed as a band already, like as established musicians, so we knew what to avoid and stuff.
Yeah.
Not to say that we haven't had.
Paying your dues,
Right.
bro.
Right, we've been paying our dues for fucking 10+ years now.
Worst show.
We're vets.
Worst show I could probably do. It could probably be any combination of 5 from our U.S. tour.
Yeah, I was gonna say what I always reference is our skate park show
The skate park show in
in Missouri somewhere.
some random place in Missouri. That was definitely one of them. Another
But
great.
we played with Torn the Fuck Apart. who
That was a
awesome.
great show.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Another hilarious show was the Chicago show where every band dropped off.
Man, yeah.
except
our
for
first
us.
2 shows. Oof.
And we didn't play our first. No, the second
van
show
broke
of the
down.
U.S. tour in Rochester, our van broke down in Waltham on the way to Rochester, canceling that show. So that was a great
We
one.
got Dennis, our Best Buy van, to take his place.
Yep, exactly.
No, it was the Best Buy. It was
No,
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Yeah.
And then the next day in Chicago was awful because
Same
all the
thing.
bands dropped. And
We
but
played
there was 5 people.
Yeah, we played to a small group of people.
Let's see, what else was awful? Yeah, the skate park show was awful. Pontoon Beach, Illinois was awful.
Yeah, but they had a jukebox where I got to play all the winger that I
That's
wanted,
true.
and
Three
drunk
bands,
singing
3 or 4
for it.
bands, 0 paying people. That was a great one in Pontoon Beach, Illinois.
Oh, nice.
Suburb of St. Louis.
I think those were all the bad ones, right?
Other than that, we've had
Great shows otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the best and worst right there. So yeah, we got a great selection of best and a great selection of worst. What else?
We played in Oklahoma City, and it was, I remember
I
being
thought
a
that
good
was a good show.
But do you remember what happened during that set?
Bombing?
Oh yeah, yeah. During
So
that,
Blue and I both went and tuned our guitars, and both of our tuners were on our rigs at that time. So we both turn around, we tune, we get up, we're ready to go. We're going to play the song. Nothing happens.
we
it was
both
like
were turned off
Yeah.
still, and so
Nice.
it's like we kind of knew what we were doing, but didn't.
So there were no guitars when we started to play that song.
And that show sucked because I lost my bag of weed,
Yeah.
and we still had like another 5 days left in the tour.
Yeah.
Oh.
We
That's
still
all.
had some left. though.
Yeah, it's still a huge bar.
Someone else didn't lose his.
Yes, exactly. That's why we're a good band to be on tour with, because we try to be potheads.
Yeah. The best part of that was the fact that you dropped my bowl in Philadelphia outside of the M Room.
Did I break it?
No, you didn't break it.
Okay,
And
yeah, I
was
remember
like,
dropping
I was
it.
like, oh, sweet, it didn't break. Awesome. Because it would have sucked if it broke. Because then we'd be SOL.
Yeah.
But so it didn't break. And then a few weeks later, I was driving to work. I was working at Whole Foods at the time. And I had it in its pouch and everything. And I went to put it in my pocket. And it dropped and fell in my sidewalk. And it broke in the pouch.
Broke in the pouch, huh?
Yeah. So isn't that awesome? How it survived to
A real fall.
It was such a
Yeah.
team player that it got us through the tour.
Yeah.
And then it was
That's
like
noble.
then it was like Frodo after he was back at the Shire. He was already dead from the stab.
Already dead.
Spoiler alert.
Ah! Oh, good one.
Read a book.
Illiterate faggots. I don't mean that as a hateful term at all.
Blue, it's 2004. Come on.
2004.
It's 1993. Come on.
Yeah. That's the joke.
I'm not editing a fucking thing.
No, it was a
I know. No.
No one gets my
This is
joke.
something called a juke.
Right.
Oh, jukebox.
I was Joseph King.
Next question.
Oh yeah. The best arena you've ever played, and the worst arena you've ever played.
Arenas? Arenas.
Yeah, because you
That-
guys always
That
play.
insinuates that we have played one arena, let alone several.
I'd say probably the best arena we've played was MetLife Stadium.
You think?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's new. It's better than the old crappy Giants Stadium.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but like
I mean-
I always feel like the Songus shows had more of that just great local feel.
Right.
You know? I don't know, it could go either way.
Yeah.
The Aganis is always a great time.
That's true. It's true.
You gotta give love to the local crowds, you know? They really appreciate you.
The Gaddis is good. It just sucked that, when we played there, it wasn't the greatest turnout. There were still some rows.
Lamb of God made us play after them, which was kind of annoying.
Right. Who do
But-
you think they are? Elvis?
Yeah, right? Come on now.
But you know,
Bunch of dickholes.
shit happens. We gotta pay our dues. Life goes on.
But anyway, yeah, probably the best place we played was the Bullpen in New Bedford,
Ha! The first show we ever played.
which was just legit a sports bar where Drew, Tim, and I were watching the last game of the Patriots 2007 season when they went undefeated, and they beat the Giants in the regular season. And I remember looking at Drew, who's a Giants fan because he's from upstate New York, and I just remember being like, it would really suck if we put the Giants play the Patriots in the Super Bowl because I think they proved today that they could win. And then what happened? Asante Samuel dropped a goddamn interception, went like this, and then I was like, well, then there's the fucking cover for Sports Illustrated next week of the Patriots blowing the Super Bowl.
Oh, exactly.
And that happened.
I got so upset when I saw those.
And there's your hot sports take, everybody.
Nice. Excellent.
Oh, we gotta have one of those every episode from now
I'm
on.
your guy for that.
Yeah, there we go. What am I gonna ask next? What's your proudest moment as a musician?
The birth of my child.
I was there for that.
The placenta was disgusting.
Right.
Yeah, peanut butter.
But
in it for some
delicious.
reason.
Proudest moment as a musician.
Yeah, I was drunk when I thought this question up.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep that question. And I'm all hungover the other day. I'm like, I'll keep it.
I can't even name that. I'm gonna probably say a bunch of answers. Probably say like maybe the first time I released a legitimate full length.
Yeah.
You know, like stuff like that. Stuff like you'd never think you'd be able to do when you're a kid. Be like, I want to start a shitty band. You know, so
Yeah.
stuff like that. Maybe the first time like playing like a big stage. You
Right.
know,
I think maybe like the first time like I played like a show that of any like
of the
significance.
importance. Yeah,
Like when
with the headliner.
like when we played with Despised Icon in
Yeah.
in
Like
Ashland, Massachusetts, the Ashland fishing game. That was pretty cool.
yeah.
Or when Three-Headed Monster opened for
Sonata Arctica.
Sonata Arctica
That was
at
cool.
a strip club in New Hampshire.
I think
The melodic rock band.
Right, that was when that whole
Oh my
garbage
god,
started.
you remember that bullshit? Oh,
Yeah.
fuck
I
you
remember-
guys.
yeah, for real.
You guys put out like
You guys are a power
you guys
metal band.
you guys put out three fucking great power metal albums.
Yeah.
And then you guys fucking turned into mid-paced bullshit. You guys suck. Fucking
Exactly.
Christ. And I'm not gonna go see you now because I don't care if you break out old songs because it's still gonna be half of songs.
We'll be
I don't
watching the
wanna watch.
light come in from the window.
The window, you know. But I think the first like cool show I did was Raising Kubrick played with like Dying Fetus in like 04 or something like that.
That was in Lowell, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
was
Sick
there.
is Sin Fest.
I was there.
Oh
I
man.
was-
Malignancy, Gore, Tory, Burnt by the Sun,
Remembering Never.
Remembering Never.
Because
It's like three
we
stages.
came with them, yeah.
Fucking-
Not the name drop, but.
But you know, definitely like the first time you play like a cool show with a band you like.
Yeah, right?
That wasn't a local band. First time we put out an album, probably like first tour. Even though that shit, like you know, those first tours are always the worst tours you've ever done in your life. But it's like you know the shit you never thought you'd do. I think those are proud moments.
Yeah.
Getting an endorsement was a cool spot, a cool thing. The
Yeah,
guitar
absolutely.
endorsement is cool.
Thanks, guys. That was cool. Black
That
Card
was pretty
guitars.
Having labels put out your albums is cool. That's a cool achievement.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, stuff that you thought would never, you didn't know how to do, and how you never thought would happen when you were a kid.
And I think it's cool that it's just like a testament to how hard we've worked to just get our shit out there.
Yeah.
As you know, we realize we're very genre specific and we have a niche audience. We're not going to appeal to everybody, but it's just cool that you know people dig us. And
Yeah.
It's like I always think whenever someone comes up to me after a show and says, "Hey man, you guys were awesome. You shred whatever." I always feel proud after that. That's always nice.
I always enjoy when I'm playing a show with another one of my bands, and I go out and people like last year when I went to Houston, a bunch of people were like, Parasitic rules. And for a band who's like, you know, prior to this new EP, Parasitic's kind of been flying under the radar for a little bit as far as like in the global scene is concerned.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear when people like Casketless is really awesome CD, and it's like, because you don't expect people outside of, you know, the local shows you play to know the stuff a lot of the times. And when people say it's like, oh, I recognize your album as a cool album and I enjoy it, it's like, I think that's the cool achievement in itself, to not be like the cheesy generic kind of thing. But
Another proud moment was on the Blackheart write-up of us.
oh,
Just
on
to be
Dear
me-
Gods.
Just to be mentioned in the same breath as like Guar and Deicide and Malevolent Creation. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, no,
I don't think I've read that actually.
on Gear Gods, which is I think I want to say it's a Metal Injection affiliated gear
Yeah.
site.
Okay.
They did a Blackheart write-up, and they were like, oh, Blackheart endorsing Guar, Malevolent Creation, Deicide, 3 more top-tier death metal bands, and Parasitic Extirpation, the one rando band that
Right.
wouldn't probably be mentioned. I was like, okay, that's cool.
But it's cool to just be mentioned in the same breath. As
Exactly.
Like, for
Yeah.
whatever context that they...
Bands that will actually be
Right.
remembered throughout the history of extreme metal
Right.
versus us, who is basically still, in a grand scheme, a tiny brand new band.
I mean,
Right.
that's still pretty cool, though. It gets your name out to people who haven't heard it before.
Not gonna complain.
Yeah, that's
That was cool.
That's really awesome. That's really awesome. Here's the curveball question. Here's the one where I have to think up on the spot, and I just thought of it. has there been any place either in the you guys have only played in the country, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anywhere in the world or just in the country where you'd like to play?
I would love to play anywhere in the world. It's kind of a cop-out answer. I'd love to play in Japan. I'd love to play Europe.
I would love to
I'd love to
European
play Mexico, Guatemala, South America.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
I'd love to play anywhere.
I think the fact that we play like the style of like extreme music that we play too lends us to the opportunities to maybe even get out to places like that eventually down the line.
I'd love to play Indonesia.
Anywhere.
Cool.
Yeah. Australia, Japan, Europe, Indonesia, South America, Mexico,
They seem to
Canada.
have the coolest like metal following.
If you're not in the U.S., they appreciate heavy metal.
Mhm.
That's pretty much extreme music is appreciated so much more outside of here. But I would love to play some West Coast shows. Parasitic has always kind of been a Northeast band trying to do our take on a West Coast death metal sound. Kind of, I feel like that super blasty, unique leader sound. Kind of.
Yeah.
But we obviously do it with more groove because we're from the Northeast, and that's just what happens when you're from here. You know, that flavor. But I would love to like be able to do some cool California shows one day with I'd love to go do shows like Condemned out on the West Coast.
Yeah,
Like just do shows with some with Disgorge out there. Like we get to play with them when those bands come here, but I want to do them in their home turf. You know.
That's exactly. Yeah.
See what things are like on the other side. From what I understand, I don't know about metal shows, but at least with the hardcore shows, everybody shows up to everything, and it doesn't matter who's playing.
Shows in Cali are always a good time. I'd love to have Parasitic go there.
I think that would be really cool for you guys, and I hope it happens.
We'll just go back to Del Taco.
Yeah, that's another thing I really like. Is just Del Taco. Del Taco's just a bizarro Taco Bell, and I love it.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
The one time I went, Del Taco was on the West Coast, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I was in Vegas, drunk as shit. Vaguely remember how good it was. My brother was like, "You fucking
Dude,
loved it." I'm like,
I remember any night I was on the West Coast, or like Las Vegas Death Fest last year. We were there in 2012.
Composted headlined, right?
Of course. But the highest